We're going to come into just whatever position is most comfortable for you today. And we're going to start with a breathing activity. So go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, and I want you to imagine that the energy, that you're channeling energy at the base of your spine, and that energy is moving up through the spinal column all the way to the crown of the head, and at the top of the hold, or excuse me, at the top of the breath, we're going to hold it. So we'll start now. Start breathing in slowly. Imagine that energy is rising through your spinal column. It's moving up past the belly button into the heart, through the neck, up into the crown of the head, and then we're just going to hold it. And it might feel slightly uncomfortable, but try to keep holding it. And then as you exhale, just relax. We're going to do that 2 more times. Again, inhale from the base of the spine. Imagine energy channeling up through your back like liquid flowing up into a straw, all the way to the crown of the head. We're going to hold it. Maybe get a little bit more air in. And then exhale out, relax. Last one. Inhale up. Imagine that energy moving, going all the way up the back, all the way up to the crown of the head. Hold it. See if you can sip in a little bit more air. And then relax. All right, and just notice how you're feeling now. Maybe that exercise has allowed you to be in a place where you're feeling more peaceful, less anxious. And then we're going to continue breathing deeply for the rest of the class. And let's go ahead and open the eyes. Our first pose is going to be a butterfly pose. So go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. If you'd like, you can use a pillow and sit up onto it to elevate your hips. We're going to place our hands onto the ankles or the feet, and we're just going to start by flapping our wings. So we're just lifting and dropping the knees. And then we're going to push the knees down using our inner thigh muscles. Sit up as tall as you can, deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold over our ankles. If you're new to Yin Yoga, we are going to be holding these poses much longer than we normally do. So keep in mind, you don't need to go really deep into the pose right away. We're going to be here 5 minutes. So as you're holding the pose, try to keep pressing your knees closer down towards the floor, and try to keep sinking your torso closer down towards your ankles. So remember, you're still using the full capacity of your lungs. As you inhale, fill them all the way up before you exhale. And as you exhale, get rid of all of that air before the next inhale. Now also keep in mind that you are supposed to be experiencing a dull pain. However, if at any point during any of the poses you start to feel an intense pain, you need to back out. That means that you've gone too far and you're doing damage to yourself. We've made it 2 minutes, so we just got 3 more here. Another thing that may help you through these poses is to imagine that your breath is going into the area that you feel the pain, and that your breath is allowing the muscles in that area to relax. Still breathing deeply. We're going to be here 1 more minute. Now you might want to go ahead and sink as deep into the pose as you can for this last minute. We're going to take 3 more very deep breaths here. Maybe see if you can drop a little bit closer or farther down into the fold each exhale. And then we'll make our way out by pushing down into the hands or the hands down into the feet. We'll lift the torso up, bring the knees together. We're going to set our hands underneath our shoulders, and then we're going to drop the knees down side to side. And then we'll come back into a seated position. We're going to lift. Actually, let's go ahead and drop our knees down to one side. We'll lift up into a tabletop. And we're going to come into a puppy dog pose next. So remember, in puppy dog, your knees are right below your hips. So your hips aren't back or forward. They stay right above the knees. And then we're going to walk the hands forward, lower the forehead down to the mat. Remember that when you're in this pose, you're trying to sink your heart closer down towards the floor. Also, if you'd like, you can bring your chin to the mat. And if that doesn't feel good, go back to your forehead. So we're still taking those very deep breaths. And we're going to relax throughout the shoulders. We'll be here 3 minutes total. We've made it through the first minute. Taking air in to the maximum capacity that your lungs can hold, exhaling all the way out. We'll take just 2 more deep breaths here. And then we'll start to lift back up, walking the hands in. We'll come into a tabletop for just a moment. The next pose we're going to come into is an easy, actually let's stay here. We're going to come into a hero pose. So I want you to tuck the balls of your feet under so that your heels are lifted. And then we're going to sit back onto our heels. So our goal is to stretch out the arch and the toes. If this is fine for you, you can go a little bit deeper by lifting the torso up. If that feels comfortable, if that gets uncomfortable, remember you can lean forward to take the weight out of your heels. We're going to be here for a minute total. So now you'd be imagining that your breath is going all the way down into your feet. One more deep breath here. And then we'll release, lean forward. You're gonna untuck the toes, set the tops of your feet down, and we're just gonna kind of pedal them. And then we're gonna sit back onto our heels, and our goal now is gonna be to stretch out the ankles. So I'm gonna have you lift one knee at a time. So I've got a gap here. I should have worn lighter pants, but there's a gap between my knee and the floor. I just lifted it up. All right, and we're gonna switch sides. So we'll drop that knee down, and then we'll lift the opposite knee up. Try to keep sitting up as tall as you can while you're doing this and holding your core in. All right, and we're gonna release that knee down. Now we'll come into a seated position. Next, we're gonna come into an easy pose. So we'll cross our ankles. We're gonna go into a fold, and then we'll switch which ankle is in front. This is another one where you might wanna sit up onto a pillow. Sit up tall, deep inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, we'll fold forward. Make sure your neck is not working, so let your chin drop into your chest if it's not already. Relax throughout your upper shoulders as well. Continue breathing deeply. We're going to be here 1 more minute. We've been here for 3 so far. One more complete and deep breath here. And then we'll press out of it, lift the torso up, and we're just going to switch which ankle is in front. All right, again, sit up tall, deep inhale, and then fold forward. Make sure you are still trying to relax. Relax your muscles, relax through your lower back. You'll be here 1 more minute. One last deep breath in this pose. And then we'll lift back out of it. Once you're in seated, we're just going to go into a brief twist. Let's place our left hand on our right knee, right hand behind you. Look behind you, press into the twist, exhale. And then we'll switch sides. We're going to go to the other side, twist. Release to center. And now here's where you're going to want those pillows. We're going to set them down to the left side of us, so next to your left hip. And I've got a couple of them. I might even add a blanket to make it even softer here for myself. And then we're going to bring our ankles over to the right side. So go ahead and drop your right ankle so that the ankle is close to your hip and the sole of the left foot is next to the front of your right thigh. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your knee, you can also extend your ankle out to the side, and that's fine too. We're going to turn our torso towards the pillow, so towards our left side, and then we're just going to lower down onto the bolsters. Now, if your neck is comfortable, you can turn your chin and look towards the wall behind you and rest your right ear on the pillows. If not, just keep the chin forward. We've been here a minute. We're going to stay for 2 more. Make sure you're still breathing deeply. One more deep breath. And then we're just going to switch to the other side. So we'll press into our hands, lift the torso up, flip the ankles and the pillows. Once your left ankle is in towards your hip and the sole of your right foot in front of your left thigh, go ahead and square your shoulders to the right side and then lower down. Remember, you have the option of turning your chin and looking towards the wall behind you. So in this one, we're relaxing, especially through our neck and shoulders and our entire spinal column. We're halfway there. Three final breaths in this pose. And again, we'll push our way back up into seated. We're going to come into a staff pose next, which just means we're going to extend our feet straight forward. Sit up tall here. And then we're going to do a little bit of neck and shoulder work. So go ahead and first, we're going to drop the chin in towards the chest. If you would like, you can interlace your fingers and place them behind your head, but please don't press down. You're not pushing on your head. You're just allowing the weight of your arms to rest there. One more breath. We'll release the hands down. We're just going to set them on top of the thighs. And then we'll lift the chin all the way up. We're going to see if we can get the back of our head to touch the back of the neck. It's okay if it doesn't, but just keep your chin lifted here. Breathe. If it feels good, also try pulling your shoulders down towards the floor. One more very deep breath. And then we're going to drop the chin back into the chest. You're going to keep the face down. So you're looking down towards your thighs, but you're going to turn the chin and lift it up towards the right shoulder. Drop the chin in towards the chest, and then turn the head, lifting the chin towards the left shoulder. And we're going to do that once more to each side. And then release the chin down through center and lift it up through center. We're going to come onto our mat now. Well, we're on our mat already. We're going to come onto our tummy now. So go ahead and lower yourself down onto your belly. And we are going to take our one knee and we're going to bring it out to the side. I wish I was wearing lighter pants, but I'm going to put this. Nope, that's not good. So if you can see, I'm laying on my tummy. My knee is extended straight out from my left hip. And then my knee is at about a 90-degree angle. And we're just going to hold it here. This is another one where you might want to grab a pillow to rest under your head. So now we're getting into the restorative poses. Make sure you're still breathing very deeply. All right, we're gonna switch sides now. So whatever knee you had extended out to the side, go ahead and switch it. So remember that the knee extends straight out from where your hip is, and that it's approximately at a 90-degree angle. So before the goal was stretching, now that we're in the restorative poses, the goal is just to relax. Imagine every time you exhale that your body is melting and you're letting go of all the tension that you're holding on to. Just a couple more deep breaths here. And then our next pose is called a mother's embrace. So this one we're going to want all of our pillows and the blanket if you want the blanket. You don't have to use the blanket. But we are going to lay down on our side, and it's okay if you're on the same side, that's fine. You're going to place one pillow in between your knees. Then you're going to place another pillow between your arms, and we're going to use the third pillow to rest our head on. So you're hugging one pillow is between the knees, and the last pillow is under your head. So if you would like, you can also add a blanket and cover yourself up. So this is supposed to be a especially relaxing pose. So again, just imagine that you're melting into the mat, you're letting go, your mom is embracing you and encouraging you and hugging you, and you feel safe and comforted, and you know everything is going to be fine. All right, we're going to start to come up out of this and we're going to switch to the other side. So I invite you to just roll over to the opposite side. And we're going to imagine now a future with a new normal. And we don't have to know the details of the future and what that new normal is, but we are going to imagine a community that's safe, our friends and family are safe, and this new normal is better than anything we ever imagined. And then we're going to be grateful for this new normal, having gratitude so that we can know that this future exists. And by knowing and having gratitude, we can let go of any anxiety that we may be feeling right now. You can relax even more. right, we're going to start to transition into Savasana, but I invite you to take one or two pillows and set them underneath your shins. And then we're going to take our other pillow and keep it underneath our head. Again, if you'd like to place a blanket over you, I encourage you to. And then we'll close our eyes and just relax. See if you can relax even more. Let your muscles in your face and your shoulders and your hips especially melt into the night. All right, and bring your attention back into your body. Notice how you're feeling it. And then we're going to start to wiggle our fingers and toes to wake up. Reach the hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to stretch from our fingers to our shoulders. And then we'll walk the feet in, lift the knees up. Drop the knees down to one side. We're going to come down into fetal pose. And then we'll make our way up into seated, and we're going to end in easy. You can sit up tall, bring our hands to prayer at the heart, bow your chin down to your heart. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. Thank you for keeping up with your health through the pandemic. It is the best possible thing you can do for yourself. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Betsy.
You're welcome. See you, Lori.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye. You're welcome, Lori.